Hi everyone, I'm Frida and I'm back with another video. In this one, I would like to share how I made this Moebius inspired angel pendant. But first, I would like to say thanks to my patrons, you guys are the best. I've chosen a triangular shape for this pendant and I decided to fold up the sides. I measured out everything and I cut it out with my saw, and I also cut out the little corners to be able to fold up the sides. I scored the lines where the fold is going to be. With this sharp tool, following the lines, I cut the material partially. So when I fold down the sides of this little triangle, the material going to fold nicely along the scored and partially cut lines. I used this special insert in my vise to get to the narrow corners in my triangle. Here I'm folding my cloisonne wires. Cloisonne is an ancient technique for decorating metal objects with colorful glass. The colors are separated by thin metal wires. I fold these thin metal wires to match my design. I use pliers and tweezers for this. I put my folded wires on a tape. The tape holds them in place until I'm ready to put them on the surface of my pendant. This pendant was inspired by the work of the French artist Jean Giraud, aka Moebius. My husband is a huge fan of his art and that's how I got introduced to it. This fairy is from the book The World of Edina. She is an elemental creature of the planet Edina and she is a spirit guide of the protagonist in the story. This fairy really caught my eyes when we were looking through his art. I really love the simple yet gorgeous lines of this design. Folding these cloisonne wires are a really tedious and slow process. This is the most challenging part for me personally. Sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle, but it's always worth it at the end. This video is obviously sped up, but it took me about an hour to fold these wires. While I'm finishing this up, I would like to let you know that I have some videos up on my Patreon about folding cloisonne wires. I give you some useful tips there. Next, I prep the base, starting with sifting black counter enamel on the back. I did 2 layers, firing it in between. After that, I sifted clear fuse on the front and fired it in my kiln. Since I put my folded wires on a tape, I had to transfer them on the surface of the pendant. I use my tweezer to do this, and I also use glue to hold the wires in place until the next firing. This can be a little bit tricky because there is no drawing to help me where to put the wires. I got a question about how the wires stay on the pendant after firing. After all the wires are placed, we are going to fire it in the kiln. In the kiln, the base coat is going to melt and the wires basically going to get stuck in it. I fired it and now I'm applying the colored enamel. I changed the original colors of the drawing a little bit. I really love to use opalescent white, so I decided that I'm going to use that for the body. I've chosen yellow for the hair and I just ordered a beautiful peachy pink color and I decided that I really want to use that, so I applied that for the wings. The fairy is flying, so naturally for the background I've chosen blues. When I was done applying the colors, I waited until the piece is dry and I fired it in my kiln on 1400 Fahrenheit for 2 minutes. Enamel shrinks during firing, so I applied 2 more layers of colors. I applied the 3rd layer off camera. I'm using a paintbrush, a little scraper to get the enamel in between these little cells. I apply these enamels wet, this process also called wet pecking. After I fired it, I started the sanding process. I used water and diamond pads. It took me a little bit of time, but I really enjoy this part of the process. We remove the excess enamel from the wires and smooth out the surface here. When it was done, I fired it one more time to get the shine back. And this is how it turned out. I really love it. Let me know what you think. If you like this video and this pendant, please like, share and subscribe, and please consider supporting me on Patreon. I put up extra content there. The link is going to be in the description. Bye!